There is something that sounds so simple, yet I believe that it is also life changing. That thing, I consider it to be calm. You know that the world teaches us that discipline means control, raising your voice, showing authority, making sure that your children listen. But there's one thing that I've come to learn from all of this, especially with my work with parents and from life itself, that calm is the strongest form of discipline we would ever practice. Let me tell you why I think this is a thing. There was a day that I lost it. I was caring for my niece. She was so clingy, she was cranky, she was tired. I was exhausted, right? And I raised my voice, not because she was doing something wrong per se, but because I was done. I was just too exhausted. And that moment, I saw her tiny face freeze in fear, and she was still screaming even more. And then I realized that I would have just taught her something that I didn't mean to teach her. I wouldn't have taught her about how to listen, but about fear. And that is when it hit me that when we discipline in anger, what our children remember is not the lesson that we aim to teach them. It is the tone, the tension, and the fear that comes with all of that. But calm, you see, calm, it teaches safety. And only in safety can a child truly, truly learn. That's one of the things I've noticed. You may think that calm means weak, but it does not mean permissiveness. You are not permitting your child to act in a certain way. It is powerful enough to hold boundaries without breaking connection, which is one of the most important things you want to consider as a parent. So listen, you can never, I repeat, never pour empathy into a frightened heart. You cannot. You cannot build character in chaos, and you definitely cannot raise an emotionally stable child when your nervous system as the parent is constantly at war. I mean, I say this with love, but also with urgency because I know how urgent this is. When calm is lost, everything else begins to pulverize. This is how burnout starts. This is how parents spiral into guilt, shame, and even depression because they keep reliving the moments that they doubted or they snapped. And that is where it becomes life and death situation because chronic stress, anger, and emotional exhaustion don't just affect your mind, they affect your heart, your body, and your health. Parenting is not killing people because of lack of love, it is killing people because of lack of support and the lack of applying calm in your parenting. So, if you don't take one thing from this, let it be that calm is not the absence of discipline. Calm in itself is discipline. It is the pause before you react, it is the deep breath before you speak. It is choosing to teach and not terrify. It is you saying, I can hold this moment without losing myself. I can hold this moment without losing control. This for me is real power. This is true leadership. This is what love with boundaries actually means. If you are struggling to find your calm because you've been struggling for a while, you're not alone on this, sincerely. This is why I created a space like the Parenting Academy and tools like our Parenting Toolkit. Click the link in the bio right now to be able to join the academy and to get access to the toolkit. Because calm is not something which we stumble into, it is something that we practice, it is something that we build together. So take this week to ask yourself, where can I choose calm instead of control? Where can I model safety instead of fear? Because the calm that you practice today becomes the voice that your child carries for the rest of their life. Let me say this, you're not a bad parent. You are a growing one, and that is why you need support. And growth always starts with a pause. So today, take out time to pause and calm.